I am Randy from UXstars.com, and this is my dog Penny, and I'm here to tell you a story about a voyage that I took today to Walmart and McDonald's. I was making observations of their online ordering and pickup systems. It's a very interesting combination of the physical retail space combined with the digital. So, in a case like this, I would place some form of order through an app on my phone, and then I would go to that location for Walmart. That way, I just arrive and they put all the groceries in my car. And for McDonald's, instead of waiting in the drive-through, I pull into a parking space, and then they bring the food out to me. So let's see how this voyage goes. Not everything went quite as expected, but that's kind of the point of a field test, isn't it? So when I was leaving home, I opened up the Walmart grocery app, which I'm kind of surprised that they just call it grocery because it's the Walmart grocery app, but that's beside the point. I would expect the two logos to look a little bit more similar on the apps, but that's a very, very, very minor point. So going off to Walmart, I click the check-in button. Great. And when I get there, I kid you not, within 30 seconds of parking in the reserved parking space, and there's a few of them, the man comes out of the orange door with all my groceries, and I was like, no, that couldn't be for me. I just got here. Somebody else must, and then there were no other cars right next to me, so I'm like, less than like 30 seconds, they had everything. And the only action I had taken myself when leaving home was to hit the check-in button to say, hey, I'm coming. They tracked my GPS, I believe, and timed it amazingly right. Fantastic. So while I was having him load the groceries into the trunk for me, thank you, sir, I was placing an order for McDonald's because I figured while I'm out, I may as well stop by McDonald's for lunch because it was about that time. Okay, so now I have to prefix this with about a week ago, I had promised my children milkshakes at McDonald's. I put a whole big order in the cart. And then on that day, the McDonald's app wouldn't let me pay. So my focus for most of what I'm talking about today has to do with intentional UX decisions, not like a glitch like this. This had never happened to me before. It was disappointing. I ended up just like sort of canceling the order and driving away because I didn't have any cash in my wallet, and for some reason they weren't taking my credit card, and I didn't want to have to go into the store because I had my kid with me. Whatever. I gave them another chance today and said, McDonald's, I'm not going to give up on you. And I'm not doing any of this to pick on you, McDonald's. You know, I enjoy the things you have to offer. This story does have a sweet ending. So, today when I open up the app, it was just, I think I left it up for like a minute thinking it was just like loading. I'm like, this is off to a great start. Eventually, after restarting it a couple of times, it finally did open. Hooray. But we're at about 11 a.m. here. Oh, and then they advertised to me a free McMuffin. I'm like, the day is looking up, right? And so I'm like, well, it is right on the wire. I wonder if they'll let me put it in the cart. And, score, they did. And so I said, you know what? I would like to place the order. Now, keep in mind, at this point, I'm still sitting in my car at the Walmart. But I say, hey, if I click the I'm already here button, then by the time I get to McDonald's, everything should be ready, right? No. When I click the I'm already here, it uses my GPS to sort of tell that I'm not physically there just yet. And so this kind of defeats the purpose to me. This is, I guess, one of my biggest pet peeves about this process. When you order a pizza, and then you get to the parking lot, do you expect that they will then start making the pizza once you say, hey guys, I'm here, please make the pizza now? No, you kind of want to say, I ordered ahead of time so that when I get there, it's ready. And now I realize fast food is a little different. You don't want those fries to get cold. You don't want your milkshakes to melt or whatnot. It would be nice if when I was a couple minutes away, it automatically triggered that this person was about to be here and came a bit closer so that when I came to the actual restaurant, I then wasn't saying, yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm going to finish up the process and all that. I'd really like to see that fixed from a customer perspective because you saw how it was when I went to Walmart. I just got there. They knew when I'd get there, and they came to the car. I would like to see a more similar experience at McDonald's with something like that. So another reason that I like the ability to place the order ahead of time, theoretically, is that if there's going to be a line in the drive-thru, I kind of feel like, well, I already waited because I ordered like 10, 15 minutes ago, so I shouldn't have to wait again. But like, I think the way it works out now is I'm not even bypassing that. I think it's not until I get there, and then I hit the place order button, and so then I'm like behind everybody else who's in the drive-thru. I'm like, there's room for improvement here. So that's another reason I feel that way, where I'd like the ordering to be a little different. So when I do pull into the spot, I go and say, okay, I am curbside. Fine, I'm parked curbside. This makes sense. Put in the spot, and as soon as I try to place the order, then of course, they're telling me that my order is now invalid. Okay, I was not expecting this. I kind of thought, you know what, it's probably the McMuffin at fault here. You know, you can see it's 11:13 now because I had some hiccups along the way. McMuffin is gone. It's not going to happen. That's fine. There's no free lunch for Randy today. Apparently, that's I can live with that. But then I had to go in and say, oh yeah, it was the McMuffin. I had to reopen my order. I decided to pick out something else because, well, I was really going with the McMuffin. I really wanted a quarter pounder with cheese instead. But hey, if one's going to be free, I'm going to get that. So I went in to customize the quarter pounder with cheese. I would like it on this screen to sort of remember, oh yeah, he doesn't like mustard. Oh yeah, he doesn't like pickles. I accidentally apparently said that no ketchup. I love ketchup. So going in here, somehow I botched that. Don't worry, I have ketchup at home. I ended up eating it there. So the point is, this is a pretty good screen. I kind of feel like, you know, there are ways that you can intentionally save a whole order or things like that. I would like him to take it a step further and say, you know what? Whenever this guy is ordering a quarter pounder with cheese, he's not doing the pickle and he's not doing the mustard. You know, so I don't have to go through that step. That would be, you know, that would be kind of nice. So, you may have noticed on the other screens, I did have the offer to redeem a free mocha frappe. It was very good. And I'm not sponsored by McDonald's. So, the odd thing about this screen here is that, you know, when you go and you select the mocha frappe, it sets it to a medium. Now, it says any size. Do you think if I'm going to get a free mocha frappe, I'm going to go with the medium size? No, I change it to the large. It's kind of like, feels like they're trying to discourage people from getting the big one, even though they say they can get the big one. And so it's like, you know, why don't you just give people the big size by default if they're doing it? And perhaps there's some cost savings there. But if we're talking about a truly customer-centric experience, the customer's probably going to want to get the most they can for free. It's a very minor point. But I'm always like, no, I'm going to get the big one if that is also free. So, going on to the order here, you know, things are looking up. I have a cute little animation of bouncing french fries. Gotta love that. You know, just, it's a little playful. I do appreciate little touches like that. So, waiting for the order. Yeah, I did have to wait for the order for a while. See, one of the reasons I don't mind as a customer waiting in the spot so much is because I can play on the phone, listen to an audiobook or whatever. When I feel like I'm in a drive-through line, I'm always like starting and stopping with the car, and of course I don't want to play with a phone while I'm driving. So that's one of the reasons I like those little spots, because you're like, I placed my order, I can read my book or play on the phone or whatever for like, you know, 6 minutes or something like that. Fine. Okay, so I waited. The food did come out, and it was delicious today, but the app did say, hey, did you have any problems today? And I'm like, well, since you asked. I love how it starts. It's like, just so you know, comments left here will not be responded to. And it's just like, okay. You know, fair enough. But it was just kind of funny the way it's written there. Okay, so they did give me a little survey, and, you know, it's a very basic survey, and I guess maybe people wouldn't fill out a very elaborate one, but checking off this survey, like, they're only going to get a very vague idea of how my experience was, right? I just went through and I told you all these things that I did or didn't like, right? If I check off that I should improve the deal redemption, like, that's not going to really tell them what I was trying to say. So I'm not sure what they glean from this type of survey, what kind of assumptions they make. Do they be like, oh, people are complaining about payment, let's have a meeting so we can find out why they're having trouble? Like, well, it's kind of, I don't know. I don't know how well that works for them. And then which features do I use most often? Okay, fine. Now, they did give me a little tiny little box where I could type in things. I told them that they could email me for more information. So, anywho, overall, it was a great experience where you can leave the home after placing a few orders, go and get the things you need without having to go into stores. Sometimes I have the kids with me. It's a big hassle to unbuckle them all and then buckle them all in and take them into a restaurant and be like, don't touch that. So it's nice to be able to sort of stay in your car. Today, both of those stores did fulfill that objective. The first one went more smoothly than the second one. And I hope this feedback may reach them, and help them realize, what's going great and maybe what could use a little bit of improvement. And I thank you all for your time, and have a good day. See you later.